Industry plants are real. As you're watching this, music execs are huddled inside a conference room somewhere, plotting ways to manufacture the rise of freshly signed artists. Sometimes their plans are successful, and they're able to use enough industry muscle and money to force artists onto listeners. It's not a new phenomenon. For decades, shady business deals went down in the back rooms of radio stations, where executives paid off DJs like Alan Freed and strong-armed their artists' songs onto the airwaves. Now labels have even more tricks at their disposal, including fake streams, paid social media posts, and viral trends that are often manufactured by TikTok influencers and digital media agencies. So it's only natural that people grow suspicious of a coined term in the early 2010s for a new artist who pops up out of nowhere with little legitimate buzz and is shoved down the fan's throat, an industry plant. The problem is, the term has become so overused and misunderstood that it's lost all meaning. These days, it gets used to describe any new artist who gains popularity quickly, even if it isn't clear evidence of label trickery or deception. A young singer like Pink Panthers puts out a catchy song that rides the algorithm and go viral on TikTok. Must be an industry plant. A new rapper gets a few big cosigns from A-list, which leads to a spike in media coverage. Industry plant. A band strikes gold with a viral debut single that gets them booked on a late-night TV show. You guessed it, plant emojis everywhere. In today's video, we'll be discussing the difference between industry plants, what makes an industry plant, what doesn't make an industry plant, and just something I wanted to dive into real quick. Remember to like the video and subscribe, and let's get right into it. Real industry plant is an artist whose success comes from the music industry connections rather than the artistic merit or genuine interest from fans. Think, a new artist who signs a major label deal on the low and gets fast traction to mainstream exposure on the back of the industry resources while still presenting themselves as independent, or the family member of a powerful record executive like a New York drill one-hit wonder CJ, who popped up out of nowhere with the well-connected uncle at his back. In theory, plants get plugged in with major opportunities like festival appearances, A-list collaborations, and mainstream press coverage before releasing music that actually connects with listeners. But now people are rushing to throw these conspiracy theories at literally any new artist who experiences a rapid rise in popularity. Instead of coming from an understandable place of skepticism about label schemes, industry plant keyboard warriors are using the term as a lazy way to dismiss any hot new artist before really digging into the mechanics of their rise. In 2024, most people are using the term incorrectly. The latest artist that the industry supposedly planted is Forbats, a 20-year-old Dallas singer who became one of the most talked about new acts with only 3 songs out. When his first 2 songs went viral, attracting cosigns from stars like Kanye and Drake, the conversation immediately shifted from the music industry to industry plant conspiracies. We're still learning about the exact details of Forbats' backstory, but the tired discourse around him already proves how overused and divorced from context the term has become. Forbats caught fire in late 2023 with Act 1, Stickers 99, and Act 2, Data 8. The juxtaposition of his gritty street image with high-pitched love songs caught the attention of fans online, and his from-the-block performance ignited a viral ascension on TikTok and YouTube. Soon, he was on the radar of A-list stars, which attracted mainstream press coverage. His shiesty-clad face was everywhere. Throughout his initial rise, Forbats was still an independent artist who had never stepped foot on an airplane. But his sudden come-up raised eyebrows and the industry plant accusations began. Rather than digging into real signs of suspicious label activity, commentators came up with conspiracy theories. The industry plant chatter around Forbats got even more intense when Drake announced a remix of Data 8. People were saying, but how did he get a Drake feature with only 3 songs out? And it just really fueled the conversation around Forbats being an industry plant. But Drake is an artist who's always had his ear to the streets and always looking out for new artists, and it seems like he always catches artists when they're on the rise, so this isn't a surprise that Drake got on a song with him. A day after the remix came out, Billboard reported that Forbats had freshly inked a deal with Drake's OVO record label, which suggests that this may not have been a label-manufactured rise after all. The industry plant conspiracy theory is based around the idea that label executives striking a deal with an underdeveloped artist, plugging them into an advantageous opportunities, and then getting rich. But Forbats was still independent when he went viral, building up the same genuine momentum to spark major label bidding wars. At that point, he had leverage, choosing an advantageous short-term licensing deal with OVO instead of locking himself into a typical multi-album deal. Now he'll be in a position of having even more options after he puts out an EP and finds a label or distributor for his debut album. If Forbats is really the definition of an industry plant like everyone on Twitter is theorizing, the people doing the planting would have already trapped him into a long-term deal. One of the biggest pieces of proof that people have used about Forbats being an industry plant is his manager, Amber Baker, who recently worked with RCA Records as a creative manager. In the interview with Billboard, Forbats explained that he met Baker when it came time to shoot the video for Stickers because of her background with video work. She became his manager and connected him with Videa, an audio and video distribution company for independent artists, which allowed him to release songs on his own. That sounds like a description of a manager doing exactly what a manager is supposed to do, not an evil plan to plant an artist against everyone's will. And now that the OVO EP deal has happened, it's clear that her involvement wasn't a sign of secretive dealings with RCA, which would have been an actual sign of a plant. Why would RCA give up their plant the moment before it bore fruit? At this point, it seems like most of Forbats' industry plant talk is simply because he blew up so fast. But times have changed. The internet doesn't work like it used to, and overnight success is no longer an automatic indication of suspicious activity or any industry connections. In the For You page era of social media, which is built on powerful AI algorithms, things can blow up out of nowhere and reach a large audience very quickly. The phenomenon isn't restricted to music. Every day, random people on the internet are going viral and reaching mass audiences overnight. Last year, a 20-year-old woman uploaded a TikTok about her father's passion project, a boating app, and the clip caught fire on the algorithm, racking up 20 million views in just days. Before long, her dad's app has skyrocketed to number 1 in the App Store and was picked up by CNN and the New York Times. Even when a new artist does have a powerful team around them, the industry plant conversation is usually counterproductive. For years, fans have been begging more artists for development from labels, a fair request. These days, many artists are signed as soon as they stir up a whiff of viral buzz, and labels tend to expect quick returns, so they often don't have time for the old method of quietly developing new artists behind closed doors before rolling them out when they're ready. The funny thing is, a lot of the same people complaining about the lack of artist development are also complaining about industry plants, who simply have gone through the exact kind of development they're asking for. Most of the time, these people are getting upset about the music industry just working properly. If it was easy to pick a random artist and plant them, the industry would be doing it all the time. Powerful executives are constantly signing new artists and deploying elaborate marketing schemes behind them, but most of them never become big stars. Even with a strong industry push at their backs, artists usually still need a genuine hot song in order to take that next step and blow up. In fact, at the same time that industry plant term is getting thrown around more than ever, there's actually a growing amount of anxiety about the lack of new stars. As hip-hop's market share continues to dip and the most successful acts are getting older, a lot of people are asking, where are the new rap stars? The genuine concern about the next music generation is as old music continues to take more market share from new music. But whenever an artist pops up with a real star potential, we should be celebrating them for representing a glimmer of hope, not immediately tearing them down. It comes across as weirdly bitter. As producer Sunny Digital recently tweeted, the term industry plant was definitely created by someone who was trying to get in the music industry and it didn't work out for them. So now they're seeing what they can do, what they couldn't do. They have something to call an industry plant. Just bitter. Better yet, what if we focused all this energy on the music itself? If Forbats' songs don't move you, then you shouldn't keep listening. But ignoring or dismissing him because of theories about his rise is counterproductive. It's good to have a healthy amount of skepticism, but please stop angrily typing industry plant under every post of a new artist and take the time to do some more productive listen to the music and decide whether you like it or not. The term is probably being used wrong by many anyway. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next one.